Good afternoon from Caritas Jerusalem. I was in Gaza last week. I came back to Jerusalem on Monday about 11 a.m. By 12 that day, the Eretz crossing from Gaza to Israel was closed, and that night started a heavy bombardment of air bombs from the air onto parts of the Gaza Strip. The reason for that was two reasons. That tension had been rising in Jerusalem for the previous days. One was that Israeli soldiers had entered the Holy Mosque, the Al-Aqsa Mosque, during the fast of Ramadan because Palestinians were angry at there being Israelis wanting to enter the mosque, visiting the dome, visiting the Temple Mount, and because there was danger of Palestinian families being evicted from their homes where they have lived for decades, some of them for centuries, from their homes in a suburb of Jerusalem, Sheikh Jarrah. Hamas in Gaza had given the Israeli government an ultimatum: remove your soldiers from the mosque and stop these evictions. If you don't, by a certain time, then we will fire rockets at Jerusalem. The Israelis didn't expect they would carry out this threat. They did not remove their soldiers and they did not stop the evictions. So Hamas fired a rocket that landed very near Jerusalem. For this, the Israelis said, was a red line that they could not accept, so they retaliated on Monday evening with very heavy bombardment from the air on parts of Gaza. Since then, the bombardment has been extremely heavy. I've spoken to people who live there, and they said that they've experienced, these are older people who have lived through many years and many wars. They said they have lived through wars before. They know what it is to be bombed, but this time is different, and they all said the same thing: this is completely different. They said previously they knew the sound of a bomb coming and they had some idea of what the targets were. But this time it seems to be indiscriminate. The bombs are either much heavier or they're of a different kind, that they explode almost suddenly, they don't hear them coming, and the ground shakes. So the one recurring phrase was, this is totally different from other wars. So since then, different parts of the Gaza Strip have been bombed. There's a huge amount of damage. Many high-rise buildings, apartment blocks, have been flattened. Most of them probably had offices belonging to the de facto government or other organizations. But Gaza is a population of more than 2 million who live in the Gaza Strip that is about 141 square miles. So in this densely populated area, there is no place else for people to go. Civilians are living everywhere throughout the Strip, and of course they're mixed up with offices or television stations of the de facto government. Also, something to be aware of is that in this Gaza Strip that is under blockade since 2007, there is no way that people, when they are being bombed, being attacked, can even try to escape. They cannot escape. There is a complete blockade. So the situation in Gaza is quite desperate. Last night, that would be Thursday night, I heard that two other parts of the Gaza Strip, one is on the east of Gaza City and another to the north, where there was apparently a whole network of underground tunnels. Houses have been completely flattened. That's a word that I was told, in the Israelis' bombardment to destroy the tunnels. People are fleeing, running from these areas towards the western part of Gaza City, looking for refuge in schools. UNRWA schools have not yet offered them shelter. They did in the 2014 war, but not yet. So somebody said to me this morning on the phone from Gaza that from his window he saw what must be 1,000 people going from school to school trying to get entry, to get some kind of shelter. At the moment, I don't know where these desperate people are. The bombing is ongoing. We're afraid there may also be a land incursion or gunboats from the sea. Until we have some degree of safety so that we, Caritas staff, can travel. It's difficult to say what our response will be as Caritas Jerusalem. As soon as the bombardment stops and it is safe to travel, our staff will do an initial assessment to see what is needed. From what I know, we will certainly need a lot of humanitarian aid, of food, of hygiene items, of basic medicines and dressings, to respond to the needs of these people, many of whom are likely to be living in UNRWA schools. We've done that before in 2014. It may be worse this time because the bombardment is much worse. So we will know within a few days of the intense airstrikes stopping, and we will be able to do an assessment. We will have some idea of the needs, and we will communicate that to our headquarters, our Caritas Internationalis in Rome. In the meantime, I am in communication with our people in Gaza. I'm keeping up to date, and we will keep you informed as best we can as to the situation on the ground. We thank you in advance for the help that you have always given us, for the help that I'm sure you will give again to these desperate people. We will keep you informed. Please keep us in your prayers, and we will continue to pray for you and for your safety, as well as for the safety of the people under bombardment in Gaza. Thank you very much.